Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. This is the second video in a small series that I'm doing, aside from the techniques, just going through some great scenes that have we received over the years, most of them kind of in the early days of the business and Stampscapes, before things like the internet and blogs and whatnot, where people can easily share their pieces with others online. There wasn't really an easy way to do that in the past, other than sending out hard copies and whatnot. Then when we created the website in 1996, we started putting up samples slowly through the next few years after that, but that's probably when we received most of the samples at Stampscapes. I guess in the early days too, some other kinds of correspondence, but I wanted to go through some more of these, and I don't know, I realized when I was kind of going through my collection, that I don't know, it's somewhat more effective seeing these sometimes in a video format. Norise Wakamoto sent these samples to us from Hawaii. She owned a store out there called Creations, and they did a lot of great work with the stamps out there. They had a really great program of teaching, and they were always so inventive and innovative and whatnot with the stamps right here. But this is a large, I don't know what company made the wizard or this camera right here, but as I mentioned in the first video of this kind of I don't know, series of scenic recollections. Not all the stamps in these on these cards are Stampscapes, but you can see how Stampscapes can be incorporated with other stamps from other companies. Anyways, this one's an interesting format right here. It's just as a scene, or I don't know, a project in itself, just like this. It's really cool. This is kind of on a foam core board. Okay, it's mounted, and it's also layered, so you have these little pull tabs here, so you have one scene like that, then you pull it out like that, and you get another scene, little pixie sitting on a branch. That's really cool, huh? And then we pull it out again, and here's this little, another scene in theme. Of a unicorn, and that's our nebula stamp in the background right there. But you can see how these are all tied together thematically, but they've separated them in terms of the color scheme, so it's not so monotonous when you start pulling these out like this. Maybe this is like it's like the multi analog version of like a digital frame, but really inventive use of the stamps done in a scene. So it's like the camera is taking these pictures, I guess, of the what it's witnessing. So anyways, moving on, here's some more scenes done by Norise, or I don't know, I guess she did these personally, but this is an interesting media use of media with the images. These have been stamped in multiple colors with different types of embossing powders. Okay, you can see there's gold. It's done on black paper too, which is interesting in itself, but I don't know what colors these are. They're kind of metallics. It's like a metallic purple back there. Let me see if I can show you this better. Let me get it back into the light and just zoom, but you can see how shimmery and iridescent. You can see the little flakes of green down here. But what they've also done is on this black paper, they've gone back in with I'm going to say pastels, okay, and work those colors into the falls and stream. Something that are chalks of some sort. I'm not really sure, but it sure is interesting, isn't it? So these kind of reflective surfaces are ones that just didn't. If you've ever tried to scan something like that, it's really, really difficult to get the spirit of it. It just, because you get that light reflecting back in the scanner's eye, so it just doesn't capture that. But in a scenic format, you have the foreground up here and the tree overhanging tree limbs, the midground, and the sky back there in the cloud form. So really a super different look in terms of the media that was used on here. Here's the same waterfall again. Cloud, little mountain sticking out from the background. They just capped it off in white like snow. But just a very rich surface quality to that, no doubt. And another one from Nerys, just a really great scene here. Well, pixie right here. But I really love the formatting of the card here with all that, the kind of that staggered and offset matting in the background like that. They've even, gotten pretty detailed. After they've laid this down, they've taken a gold pen and kind of framed this off with that gold lining around each layer, kind of separating the layers up a little bit more and giving it structure. But a really great card. See if there was a date on there. Okay, moving on. A couple great envelopes here. Let's see, this one is from Iris in Sweden. This is on the front of the envelope, and then they use the back of the envelope where the the folds and everything are for the address and postage and whatnot. But a really great looking envelope, in terms of mail art, and these are done with colored pencils, so some great colored pencil work, and of course with colored pencil you can get very detailed and exacting, exact marks with it. But I mean, just the rich hue, just like even up in that rooftop right there, you can see there's just browns and even some greens up there and red, so when you take a look like that, you wouldn't notice something like that, but it gives it a rich hue when you look at it on the overall, as opposed to just using one color up there. Okay, she's brought on a lot of different colors from nature, the greens of the trees, the browns, the reds, and incorporated all in there. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that color from the sky is probably up there as well. This is a fun scene right here. I've always remembered this one. It's like Godzilla, coming out from the background right there with these little kind of dancers in the foreground. Our island, mountain, and clouds, but a really cool envelope to receive. This is by Petra in Colorado. Some really great use of the foreground imagery, just that little plant down there, and as you see it, here's this pineapple stamp. I'm sure she probably, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe she worked the composition probably around the stamp right there. I don't know, but that little stamp sure works with the foliage and the spirit of the location of the scene. Okay, this is by Tyra Smith, and she loved Native American imagery, and a lot of people ask me about, You know, do we have anything in the Native American spirit, subject matter? And there used to be a lot more companies out there than there are now, and a few of them had really extensive lines of some Native American imagery. So I don't know if they're still out there. You got to kind of look around. It's a little bit harder to find them these days, but someone might have something. I'm not quite sure what company that was from, but you might check on our website and take a look. I might have some image notations underneath each scene there, but a lot of rich colors up here with the tonal applicator. I see probably some blues, pinks, and purples up there. It's like a, I wouldn't say pointillism, but sorry about the focusing. Let me try to get this focused in right here. Try to move it up a little bit slower, but you can see the dots there from the tonal applicator. But when you hold it back like this, it just kind of merges, I wouldn't say into one, but it certainly has a nice smooth blend to it. So simple scene, but a very, in terms of composition, but very rich palette choice like that in terms of color and texture. Just a real quiet scene right here. I like the little color in the window right here. It's kind of reminiscent of the framing, the matting that they've used on this scene. Basically warm tone right around here in an otherwise cool composition. So really nice, just quiet scene of, and as far as the visual dialogue, you get this kind of, visual motion where as a viewer you're kind of drawn into the scene with some foreground, midground, background like that. And this is by Kathy in Michigan. Laura Kennedy. A couple scenes from her. I always like this one right here using the tonal applicator flame. But look at that rich, beautiful glow being created back here, and just that little texture from the tonal applicator flame of oranges kind of transitioning into the yellow right here, but just a nice rich glow. The leafless limb large stamp right there used as foreground. Water textures down here. It looks like this could have been, I think it's a brayer ran in the background like that. But the thing I like about this one, I like it all, but what I really like are the details, something like the water pattern stamp right here used in colors from the color scheme. And there's at least two different shades of blue, probably a number 10 and number 3 blue of Marvy, I'm guessing, and maybe even a magenta or something like that. I don't know if that's the colors, but it's roughly a kind of a light blue, darker blue, and magenta in here. So you add that water texture just to kind of differentiate surface from sky. Not that that can't, that you absolutely have to have it, but it just adds in that little extra textural change, to, for a more rich textural range within the scene. So a couple really great cards. This is by Danielle, and this scene is from 1997. This is a color copy right here. I forgot where I saw this. It might have been in a magazine or something like that. Rubber Stamp Madness, perhaps, and she sent me a copy of it. I love the use of the rocky cliffs right here, and she's taken the rocky cliff left stamp. It's roughly about like this. And then she's used the ledge stamp coming down here to create this whole rocky shoreline. She has this great mermaid here and some rocks out in the water, islands in the distance, and another sun. Those images right there from, I don't know what company, but they work great with the the Stampscapes line in the foreground right here. The leaf on that, if you look closer at that, you can see all kinds of a real rich textural palette of some kind of leaf foliage stamp stamped in multiple colors. So look at how busy that is. You know, if you look at it close, but when you look at it right here, it's not so busy. It just merges into one very rich surface, whereupon closer inspection reveals so much more detail and visual interest. But take a look at the colored pencil work. You know, look at all those beautiful textures and values and transitions of hue across the surface of the card. She created that whole sky up there as well, just with the use of colored pencils. So just a really beautiful scene, and you know, what a great composition and finish work on it. Okay, I have some really great envelopes here by J.K. Olson of Utah. Covering up the address, but this is the front side, this is the back side of an envelope. It's kind of like a 6x9 envelope, but look at this beautiful envelope here. This is all an original and finished off in colored pencil right here, okay? Some great use of, I don't know, value and texture. I like the clouds that were created with the use of, I don't know, some negative space in terms of adding all that blue, but leaving some areas, you know, patchwork of kind of moving clouds across the, you know, reflected clouds across the surface of the water. But what a great envelope there. And on this one right here, just a more simple, sparse use of the, that's the leafless limb again, and she's stamped out foliage, not our company, but I'm guessing what they've done is they've just colored up certain branches or something like that and stamped it in there and stamped all this foliage around there in a real painterly fashion, and then filled in around that with some additional colored pencil work. Okay, so some great colored pencil work on there. Just leaving that as a really elegant card or envelope. And let me see here. Okay, I feel another scene in here. Yeah, look how beautiful that is. And here again here's that. Take that out. That rocky cliff right here. Seaside Cove. But look at that beautiful colored pencil work, and you know, those textures that they were able to achieve with the use of the medium. But just really nice. Even that little tree there, you know, having that there kind of is needed. Otherwise, it feels empty without that. But just that little bit right there. So they're really they really know what they're doing in terms of composition and compositional balance. Just really a beautiful work. And this is done in 1996. Okay, that was, you saw a couple great envelopes right there. Here's another great envelope by the great Suze Weinberg. Let me take this out, get that a little bit of that glare off, but look at this huge, glossy envelope right here, and just the beautiful composition and I don't know, everything in it. Calligraphy, the composition, the text on there, the reversed out text, lettering. This scene has it all. And I'm looking at this, and there's some kind of thing. I think she probably sprayed this. I think she did it, and to protect the surface of this, she has sprayed it with like an art spray, a seal coat. And you can appreciate it as a composition and color and everything like that, but then, once again, when you go up for further inspection, let me see if I can get this. Can you see that? There's some metallics in here that are really reflective when you just are able to capture that light. So there's this extra, little nuanced detail that you wouldn't notice it just looking at it like that, but then you hold it up and you can appreciate it on more levels. Those are the little things that I always love about any type of work. It's when you can appreciate the overall, but upon further inspection, there's just multiple things that you can, discover. So there's little, even gold kind of sparkly bits in there, if they, capture the light, so you can kind of see them right in there. I get this glare from the light right here, but you can see that where it starts to sparkle right in there if you hold it up right. So anyways, love the lettering too. It's just really fantastic. So alright, going back, saw a lot more colored pencil work, I guess, back when. This one's I've laminated by Karen. Tropical scene right here, but look at the colors right here. They're really interesting and neat, kind of the magentas and the brilliant yellows right here, the turquoise and violets within the water. So really great card, and like I said, I laminated, and this one was up in our booth for a long time. But I like that even the scalloped edge seems to go really well with the kind of the spirit of the scene, doesn't it? Okay, let me see. This was from Fanny Schrader. I remember her. Look at this great card right here that she has created. This hand edge right here, and the actual, I don't know what this is, string or little tassels or whatnot, going through the hand and holding these tags right there, these 3 tags. So the tags in themselves are really great, right? Like that. But they're working in triptych. They're like, they create a scene, right? But she's created these cards, adding a whole, a huge level of interest right here in terms of the compositional structure of the piece, and then matting it on the black right here really makes this pop, and then the matting around the edge to bring out the the warmth within the triptych. So anyways, just a really interesting project. Okay, I don't know who sent this to me, but in the early days of scrapbooking, there was a publication that sent this to me, and they were wondering, I don't know who submitted it. Someone made a project with our stamps, but they were asking if I wanted to take out an ad in their national magazine, and I think they were saying that they would use the spread on one side of the publication, and then on the other facing page would be our full color ad. I never did that. Well, because the ad was like super expensive, but this scene right here was just really great use of the this is the rocky cliff left and right again. I'm seeing a lot of that in these last couple scenes right here, but they've kind of created this river down here, and there's some probably family photos or something like that of them in just that type of terrain. They've cut out pictures of their kids sitting on the rocks right here, but they call this the chute. Robinson Hole, East Fork of the Jarbidge River in Nevada, July 1993. They probably sent this to me in 1994, 1995, but again, in the really early days of scrapbooking, when a lot of people were putting together their pages using like stickers or something like that. But anyways, awesome. Just an awesome construction of this composition, and talk about the incorporation of photographic elements within the scene. It just worked really well. So, yeah. Let's see right here. Fran Tuttle. A scene like this. I always loved the explosive kind of radiating heat of this image right here. And, there's just the little details of the highlights in there. These wolves she stamped in there scampering across, and the kind of the beaver tail cactus in the foreground right here. Those aren't our images or the cacti, but it works really well with the Stampscapes imagery. It's almost, I don't know, the word's not surreal, but there's just something kind of otherworldly about it, huh? With that glow right there, it's almost like this eye, but I always like that. I like the lighting down here too, see how, this is one color, one value, and then there's another lighter value here, so there's this oscillation of light, dark, okay? So that's a really good vehicle to separate layers in terms of visual distance. I mean, it's a two-dimensional card, but, if this was all the same value, it wouldn't be quite as effective. You wouldn't be able to see these foreground images stand out as much. So, that's kind of a lesson. You leave some areas just kind of lighter, across. They call it like checkerboarding it, going from, dark light, dark, okay? Okay, let me see. I was going to say Stephen, or I think it's Stephen James, used to do some really great work with our stamps. A couple envelopes right here. I like that kind of that masked off sponge look, I don't know if he was using some kind of template or something like that, or if he cut those clouds out himself, but hello, water lilies. These are our cattails in the foreground, and reeds and foliage, but a lot of these stamps weren't ours, but I love how they incorporate and merge in with ours. A lot of postage on it for back then. He must have had something really heavy inside. Maybe some more scenes, but really great envelope there. Monochromatic, but look how visually rich that, piece is. Okay, here's another one of the scenes, moving away from the monochromatic. It's basically, could have stamped it out monochromatic, but just put in these, it looks like chalks, I'm guessing, and added these chalk or colored pencil, could have been both, little backgrounds in there for that nice little glow, and then of course the blue down here reflected again up in the color of the blue. I don't know what that is. Is that a heron or something like that? Not sure. But anyways, just little birds popping them out from the background, like that, with the use of color. Okay. Another scene from Fran Tuttle. I always like that kind of that glow coming from around that moon, and the highlights on the clouds and in the water, but getting that orange with the green in there like that is makes for a nice effective card. And then again, the framing around it, the matting, kind of bringing out the colors of that warm hue within the kind of emerald green composition. Let's look at a couple more envelopes right here. Oh, let's see. Kathy Castingway? I'm not sure. Sorry about butchering people's names out there if I'm getting it wrong, but trees right here, I'm guessing those were stamped out in probably something like a Big and Juicy rainbow pad by Ranger. They don't make those anymore, but I can see the transitions of value in the tree, and in that Lakeside Cove back there, it's darker and lighter down below, and I think she's stamped all those images out that way. Like that moonrise back there, or moon setting. That one's not ours. But look at this great card in here. Okay. It really reads like a little, I don't know, album picture or something like that, or a little, yeah, I guess an album. It has these photo corners. I forgot what those are called too. But anyways, just taking the little elements like this and just cutting them out and pasting them over this in kind of this, I don't know, semi-collage piece. And I can see there's probably a full scene in the background right there. But just by layering all these different elements on top of one another. And it's not even, adding any color to it. I think it's more effective this way, by having all that color working in the background, but then just, she has like summer 1999 there, so it's like a little travel piece. Really interesting use of the pieces. Here's a card that someone sent to me. Petra, again. Silver ink. Just stamped out 2 impressions of the mountain. I can see this part of the mountain right here is stamped over here. And just taking a silver pen and adding those little stars up in the sky like that. Makes for a really interesting composition. Very simple and effective. I like the stylized, type of star too. It's not just little dots or something like that, It's more playful this way. Here's another envelope right here. I always like this one. This is just stamped out in black. But look at these, and then the lettering is in white right there. This is by Barbara Owens. And those little white highlights on the tree like that. See that? It kind of brings it to life, doesn't it? And these little ones down here. I have to cover up people's addresses. Not that you guys are stalkers or something like that, but... anyways, and here's another scene in here. Look how beautiful this is. I always loved that color of blue. It's almost like a turquoise or something like that. It's almost 3D too, isn't it? And it's because she stamped that out, because I can see it in the background. There's like 2 impressions of it. It's almost like one kind of, I don't know, it's like a double stamping or something like that. But this scene always seemed kind of like a dimensional, almost like it was stamped on top of like acrylic or something like that. So it always had this illusion of depth. And this is just a glossy cardstock. So it was always kind of interesting to me. But I always loved the colors of this scene right here. And of course, I'm crazy about highlights down there and that kind of bringing those areas to life. But isn't that a great color of blue? It almost kind of glows, doesn't it? Okay, so great envelope and card inside. Yuki Nakamura in Japan. You guys probably know this more than I do. I forgot the name of these, those like see-through leaves of this, but look at this natural paper, this fiber right here, and creating this window of the that those clear, or I don't know, whatever, translucent leaves, I guess, or whatever. And then there's the scene right there. Okay, so great, you know, a really nice looking scene. But look how it looks formatted like this. It's really pretty interesting. I need to adjust my lighting on this camera right here. It's, for some reason it got really dim. Okay, a little bit better. I just kind of wanted to brighten this up a little bit so you can see better. Great looking card, isn't it? Like that. And of course that natural fiber paper works perfectly for this format. Okay. As you can see, I mean, like something like that. I mean, it was, I could scan it, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't, you know, it shows like what the spirit of that card is, you know, minimally. This is Linda Yamakito. Here goes those cliffs again. I don't know why there's so many cliffs. I don't think there was like a cliff challenge or something like that, but I think the background's done in pastels. You have this embossed golden dragons here. But again, you know, these ones are kind of lifted, you know, with some sort of backing, giving them a three-dimensional raised aspect to them. So, really nice use of the imagery and felt the little detail of the three-dimensional raised aspect kind of lends kind of a visual interest to it. Really simple composition right here. You know, you have this meadow with a couple foreground trees in the subject matter, but look how this is all brought together. It's real textured and soft with the pastels and chalks in the background like that. And then all these colors down below and subtle variations in value. Look at that really great sun up there. These were done by Pastimes Gifts Shop in Scenic, Wisconsin. Look at that lighting in here, shining on the water. Okay, and that little glow working across the lake. Pastimes Gift Shop became the marketplace. I taught there one time, and I don't know, for 2 or 3 days, and actually stayed in this little cabin there on the lake. And it was after kind of the summertime crowds. I think I was there in the fall, and I think I was the only one staying in this entire, I don't know, whatever, community or inn, you know, featuring all these cabins. And on the last day I realized, oh, the cabin came with this canoe that I could have taken out in the lake, and I didn't realize it, so I never got out in the lake. But anyways, some really great layered tree trunks in here, and some nice little subtle changes of texture and colors down here in the meadow. Let me see here. Oh, this is by more from Norris in Hawaii. And you remember that kind of the look of the embossed imagery and little subtle shades of, I don't know, some sort of pastels. It could be oil pastels or something like that for all I know. But look at that scalloped edge, and taking that time to go around the card and a gold pen, you know, to incorporate that. But look at the kind of the spirit of this card right here, that wispy nature of that soft touch around that moon, like that. And the branch is stamped out and embossed in gold, and here you have that same branch used around in the framing, but stamped in kind of a pale violet. You know, so thematically, it relates to the textures within the scene itself. Okay, now I think this could have been a scene. I think that Tyra Smith was teaching in an online course. This was stamped by Suzanne, and she had that nice little kind of horizon glow working down there with the clouds, and you know, the colors on the lakeside cove stamp, but just a really nice, elegant scene right here. Okay, this is stamped by Mary. I don't know what her last name was, but this is a great little notebook here, right? So you saw all these different projects over the years, or I have, where people have done various things. They might have been stamping out things like this. I did put my name there on this one, but I think they were doing these for people. They were stamping out, and they would put people's names on them and give them as gifts. But I mean, someone that would do this would do it, you know, with the idea that you would, you know, make use of it and utilize it. But what a great thing to look at every time you went to go and writing your book, you know, over the course of time, you know, in the time that it would take you to fill this up. But to have something hand stamped like that, you know, very special. I'm not sure what kind of paper. Now that I'm looking at this, it looks like it's glossy cardstock, but it almost looks kind of iridescent to me. I never noticed that before, but those colors that have been laid down almost look a little bit, they almost look a little bit iridescent to me, so, I don't know, that extra shine there, but look at all this little, instead of using the white paint pen or gel pen for kind of highlights, adding that texture over the surface of everything like that, it reads more as snow, so I take it more as like snowfall. But look at that, you know. I think she had a lot of fun with that pen, or really enjoys doing that. I don't know, because I do that too. It takes kind of one of those, I don't know, people of detail, you know, I recognize that, you know. And she's made them in different sizes too. You know, there's small dots and large dots like that. So it kind of breaks up the monotony of it, so it reads as pattern, but then you get this variation in texture, size. So what a great you know, piece here, you know, in terms of the project. Here's a real simple composition right here. It's just done in brayer and soft tones. I'm pretty sure this was the Big and Juicy rainbow pad, because I kind of recognize those colors right there. But this person here was asking me if they can, you know, they were requesting permission to use the images in some products for resale, but we're an angel company, so hand stamped goods for resale is fine with us. But you know, going with these brayered backgrounds like that when you're doing something in multiples is a really quick way to get you a nice, you know, background in a few strokes of the brayer, and it gives you an effective, I don't know, whatever sunrise or sunset scene, you know, whatever colors you happen to be working with. And this simple, soft impression of the cloud in the background there, kind of done in the same colors within the scene itself. So that's kind of like a, I'm not sure what color it is, like it's like a real pale violet of some sort. Maybe that impression right over there is pink or something like that. Let's see, a great Stephanie Molds envelope right here. Just monochromatic, you know, but cool fisherman right here, and fish jumping out of the lake, but some ducks up here. But, you know, look at the visual dialogue running along that scene. Stamped real freeform, you know, just with some minimal coloring on there, makes for a really rich surface. And I don't know, when you put the postage up there and the address, and, you know, the text and, you know, return, you know, canceled stamp, it just gives it a nice kind of feel. Here's a card right here, sent by Christy Dreyer back in 1999. Just the use of the palm fronds in the background, but done in multiple colors. I'm guessing that this is done on vellum or something like that, where they've stamped the image on the back of the vellum and colored it, turned it over like this, and stamped the palm fronds in multiple shades of green to create this nice soft feel, but the fronds create this nice kind of a framing device. And instead of just doing it in one value and hue of green, she's used multiples to create a little bit of depth, you know, within the foreground itself. I don't know, if this is done on vellum, and, you know, some of these fronds might have been stamped on the other side, so when you flip it over, they're lighter, you know, so she might have done them on both sides. You know, it's really kind of nuanced that way. Linda from the Simple Pleasures crew in, I think it was in Colorado, but the cabin stamp, different colors on it, but there's this thick, clear embossing over the whole thing, so you see the scene like that, but look how textured it is. So it kind of takes sealing your scene off to an entire new level. You get this almost plastic, you know, textured, pebbled surface on there, which is really interesting. So it makes for a nice kinesthetic project, I guess. This is a scene right here. It's one that I've stamped multiple times, but this is done by Judy. And what I like about it, I always liked about this one, is she stamped out the lightning stamp in gold ink over the top of it, and I always liked that kind of look. Let me see if I can... This one's not really showing really well in video format, but, you know, because I have this glare. Okay, here we go. You can see it a little bit better like that, but see that kind of that metallic glow to it like that. And then, you know, the lightning isn't reversed. The lightning bolts are kind of dark, but I mean, who cares? I mean, this is really interesting to me, you know. I like that metallic use of the lightning bolt like that, you know, because you get that type of thing, you know, where you get that reflection kind of showing through like that. I'm going to have to try that sometime, maybe use a gold paint pen or something like that for my reflections. But that was, I don't know, that was, boy, I don't know when that was from, but I always remembered that one, kept it. Great little envelope right here. Look at the, you know, the diagonal placement of the lettering right there, and this is by Claudia in Colorado. But she sent in this scene right here. I always love this, the mood of this scene right here. Just the subtle variations right here. It's just done in sponging, you know, that cloud, and then you have that little dot. You always see people doing it these days. This is back in 1998 where they put just a little dot down there, inked up the background, took that dot off, and then added in some foreground clouds like that. But I always loved that look of this scene right here. And then she had a surfer stamp from some company, you know, some guy looking out at the, you know, the horizon or the waves. If you're a surfer, you're always kind of looking at the waves. And I don't know. I used to surf, and it reminds me of kind of doing that. My favorite time to surf is always kind of at sunset, and we'd often stay out after the sun went down if there were waves, and it was always a fun time. So it takes me back. This is done by Yuki. Remember, she did that one with those kind of those see-through leaves right there, but kind of a nice composition, warm tones like that with some foreground, and the ledge stamp right here with the little spear fisherman. This is a fun scene right here, done by KLR. I don't know remember who that was. You know, we're going back practically 20 years, but I always love the playful image right here and the stars right here, you know. A lot of times I always do these little points, but I really should play around with, you know, because some like pointed stars like that. It gives it kind of a playful look, like a children's book or something like that. But, you know, just combining our, you know, standard imagery right here. But when you add these playful types of elements or playful usage of things like this, you know, the white pen, or like faces, when you've given kind of a character to elements within the scene, it changes the whole entire spirit of it, right? To something more along the lines, like I said, of like almost like a children's book type of usage of the imagery. So you can really change the spirit of it. It's just a real simple composition right here with a very simple color scheme, but it has a very relaxed mood to it like that, and just some very kind of minimalist usage of the white paint pen, just sparsely over the trees, giving this a quiet, very relaxed look. I always like this. And just the lighting, it's very subdued in there overall, so it's really a kind of a transportive. This is by Carol Campbell. Okay. In the first video I went into the use of, this is by Sandy Marr. She was a great stamper, and she used to teach classes as well, but this is some of her pieces right here where they were embossed. Okay, you can see the black embossing on there, and she's gone back in, and I'm thinking that it's pen work, you know, dye-based pen work. I'm not sure, but kind of going back into some of these trees and coloring the different elements right in there. Might have been a little bit of brush work as well. I'm not sure if there were watercolors in there. Another scene by Sandy. I'm guessing that could be a Memento black. I'm not sure, but I believe this was chalk work on this one. So it's probably stamping the scene out in black and then going back into it with chalks. I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Here's a scene to contrast, you know, against with these palms and huts. Here's some more palms and huts, and once again the rocky cliffs left and right. But this is from, I think that says Anne. I think she was in Germany or something like that, or overseas for sure. But I love the use of that stamp. she just cut that stamp in half like that, you know, to have this little fish in the water like that. Isn't that a great use of that? But I believe these are chalks in here, just a real soft usage of them. But really what makes it is that stamp right there. I mean, I just look at that every time, you know. I look at this scene right here, but my eye would go straight to this. But it wouldn't look great, right? And but she did. She cut this off, you know, like that fish is, you know, kind of jumping out of the water right there. But leave it as a postage stamp, and it kind of makes it a little bit more quirky like that, right? A couple wolves. You know, this is just an envelope, and again, stamped on the back side of it. I think they probably made their own envelope, because it's kind of a smooth paper. This was from Petra in Colorado again. I always love the color schemes of this one right here, and the lighting. It just kind of glows like that, you know, purples and, you know, teals and emerald green like that. Let's see. We used to have the Stampscapes drawing on our website years and years ago, and someone sent this in. It says, I'm reading it on the back, it says, pick me. But anyways, they use this little postcard right there. It's kind of a fun use of the stamps. Let's see here. I believe, let's see, okay. I believe this, yeah, Linda Ellenwood. Really great, elegant scene right here. Again, her skies were always amazing, but the use of layered imagery up here in the foreground with the leaf sprig and the bare branch, cattails like that. You know, multiple tones in the impression itself, so you get different colors of green. So really a light and airy piece. She could do it all. She could do light and airy, or, you know, absolutely full of texture and color. Teresa and Kimber at Stamp Hysteria. That used to be a store, but look at these beautiful blue tones like that. This is the only stamp in this one of ours is the cloud, and that is that an elk? No, that tree is ours too, but the background trees are someone else. But a really nice card. But you know, I love the framing and the matting of this. You know, kind of bringing everything together. This is a Melissa Marr. I don't know how she did this scene, to tell you the truth. There's some kind of real interesting use of the some sort of applicator up in the sky. I love her cloud work up there, but just real textured foregrounds in here. I'm not even sure what kind of paper this is on, but this is the covered bridge, and just the use of color. Yeah, she really knows what she's doing. And then there's some highlights down here, but look at that. It's a really great, really small scene. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's like the size of my hand, like that. Some real electric usage of colors that I always liked right there. That sunset and these, you know, these really super bright green reeds down here in the foreground. So, by Deborah Vandor. And let's see what we have here. Oh, this is a Halloween timepiece by someone, L.M. Roscoe in Hawaii. But look at this. She's created this scene down here and created a ghost out of it. It's a tropical one. It says Happy Halloween, right? But that's a real fun. Project. 1996. Okay. And this scene right here is from Susanna libretto, monochromatic, but she wrote this little poem. The womb of the sky gave birth, a new brilliant star, and stamped it on earth. So really great poem to go along with, this sky scene, right? His formatting. So, anyways, that's grouping number 2 in terms of. Oh, here's the smallest one right here. I forgot about this. This is by Norris, that did that big camera and whatnot, but I forgot to talk about this one too. But this is, because it's so small, I didn't see it here. This is a little tiny book, right, that they've bound, and there's some stamp, there's the oak branch and the little ledge stamp right there, small. And it's this full little book. She wrote Stampscapes Carson Convention, March 1997. Okay, this little book, little journal, and here are these little photographs of the samples we had on the in the booth. There's probably been some little discoloration of the photographs, but look at what a great little project that is. So, I don't know, you've seen some big 11 by 17 projects, and started off that gigantic camera, and here, this little thing, it's like the size of my finger, that part of my finger. So anyways, those were some, that's the second grouping of scenes. That is one box that I've gone through, and I have like 2 or 3 more boxes of these scenes, so you don't get absolutely sick of hearing me blabbing on about these scenes. I thought these videos would go on for 10 minutes, but I love looking at these scenes and talking about them and what I like about them, so apologize for the length of it, but I hope you like this second grouping of scenes, and I'll have some more to come in the next week or so. So thanks again for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.